Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of City Skylines with me, Yama. Today we're going to fill this empty space here down in the left-hand corner, which is by the river. I've decided that I want to do another bridge over the highway, so I'm going to have to sink down the highway all the way along this area here and put the seawall in. So I delete the road and delete the bridge to make the seawall. And obviously I want to try and make this as tidy and straight as possible, so I'm just trying to measure up both the sides to make sure they're even all the way through the tunnel area. It does take a few goes to do this because there's no real precise method of doing it, and I'll probably have to go back and do them again because they're not quite right and I don't like it. But they might just blend in and we'll see how it goes. Things in cities generally aren't always exactly perfect. Now the road was actually a lot easier to add in than I thought it was going to be. It was really quite easy to keep it straight, and in a way I wish I put the road down first before doing the seawalls, because then I could have used the line of the road to make the seawalls better, so I might go back and do that. So to do the bridge I decided to do one side to the other, but it didn't quite work, it wasn't very level, so I deleted it and started again. I decided to do it as a different kind of road, one with the grass, which I thought would look a bit nicer, give it a bit more of a nice feeling, as this is going to go to the other side of the city once the other side is built. Now I want to connect this area up to the main city so far, and obviously like I normally do, I don't like to use too many grids, so I'm trying to think of a nice way of connecting it up, but also easy to make it nice and symmetrical, because I do like symmetry and clean lines in the city. So I have a go here and it's not quite right, so I just delete it and try again. And I never really plan out my cities too much, I just sort of do what I think flows. So here you can see I'm sort of messing around with the design idea, but don't really feel like it works. And then as that corner won't work, I've decided to follow the corner around and just make this road go all the way along. And deleting that road so there's not too many junctions in the same area. And I'll probably add in a bit more parking for that school. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And then next I decide to do a grid-like pattern in this area. I've left a main strip down the middle and then the grid along the edge, on the outside edge. And just a little piece of road here which I decide I don't like. So I do the same on this side as well, and then I add some longer streets in this area. Now the shape I've gone for makes a very odd sort of connection to the rest of the city, so probably this odd area here which connects to the city I'll probably put a park in, but I don't have time to do that in this episode, so that will be another episode. I want to get quite a lot of high density residential in because we're having an issue with not having enough people, so I try and put as much high density in as possible without making it look too overcrowded. And also we're having an issue with dead people, so I'm going to be putting in a church, a crematorium and a graveyard in this area. And although that sounds a bit like a death overload, I've managed to make it look quite nice, so hopefully you'll like the design I've gone for. So I've decided to use these hedges, and if you just sort of manoeuvre them slightly you can get them into quite nice shapes and into like thicker bushes, and they don't look too out of place. So I actually really like the way this turned out and I think I'm going to do it more often. The only problem is it moves the terrain, and I'm not sure whether it's my tree rotation mod, but the trees always rotate every time I put down a hedge, which is a bit odd, but I can get over that. And a few little cemetery blocks. And then I also want to add a real cemetery in for actual functionality. So I put that next to the church so it looks a bit like an extra piece attached to the church. And then this crematorium, I have a bit of an issue trying to find where to put it, but then decide to put it opposite the church and also do this nice hedge thing, which I think looks really nice. It helps to blend areas together, gives a bit of a cleaner line. And the hedges also sort of define that is part of the cemetery and the crematorium, so you can sort of clearly tell that parking is for the same area. I just like having a lot of greenery in the cities as well. So I carry on putting in some high residential, and then I decide I also want a big hospital in this area, because this is going to be quite a central area of the city, because over the bridge is going to be the main part of the city. So this nice big hospital is going to go here, and I just put a bit of parking in to close up that gap. I just finish off the area with some more hedges, and I've got a nice strip along the edge of the hospital which I'm going to put a nice path and walkway. So if people visiting the hospital or visiting relatives have got somewhere nice to walk around, some nice little park grounds. I put down a little costa here, and then I try to use a different type of hedge, because the darker green hedge that I've been using doesn't use the prop line tool mod, but this other hedge doesn't look right, so I end up deleting it and putting down the real hedge. It seems to be a recurring theme for this part of the city. I think it works really well. So I just want to extend out this Costa's patio so that we can put in some table and chairs. And then I'm also gonna just put a small bit of hedge around that too. So I put in a metro station, which I haven't connected them up properly yet, so that will be in one of my up and coming videos, because we really need to get this transport sorted. I've got some real transport issues in the city at the moment. And then I just try and beautify this with some summer trees. And then I think the ground looks quite bare, so I try and pick something to make the ground look a bit more exciting. And I see a lot of people use grass, but when I try and place it, I don't think it looks very good on my city for some reason. So I've decided to use this stuff that looks a little bit like vine ivy. So it's just sort of like a trailing ivy. I just add some parking down here because there's not really much use for that area, and I didn't want to connect the car parks up this side because I thought there was going to be too many junctions. So I'm going to put a bit more high density and a bit more low density residential here, and a few little parks. I've got a pack of parks which is all different sizes, so they fit in the really strange spaces you end up with on Skylines, so that's really good because it gives them some recreational areas to go to and improves their happiness, but also doesn't take up too much room. Now, I needed to obviously connect the highway back up, but didn't want to take too much time on it because I'm probably going to be changing that area anyway. I'm just adding this into a district as I'm trying to keep all my districts sorted. I'm trying to do a district an episode really. So there's a new district and we'll have to name that one at some point. So if you've got any ideas, let me know in the comment section. And I noticed they had a severe lack of fire facilities, so added one in there. Just deleted some of the houses to try and get them to blend back around it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again next week for some more Skylines, Battlefield and other games. Thanks!